The jib system on this type of catamaran, this is an F18, but this could be on the Tornado or anything else similar. This can be a little bit confusing if you're not used to it. So we're going to take a look at how. Hello, yes, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, and yes, we're going to be taking a look at this Jib Halyard system on a Hobie Tiger, which, as I said, is the same for many different types of catamaran. In fact, this will be the same for most types of catamaran that don't have a wire luff in the jib. So on boats where the rig tension isn't on the Jib Halyard. So let's have a look and see how this works. Find the top of the jib. On this one, we've got a large ring. You'll notice that the chain plate for the forestay here is already taped up. It's much easier to have that taped up before we hoist the jib rather than afterwards. And we're just going to attach the halyard here. On some boats this might tie on, or there might be other schemes. Okay, and then this is where the trick shot starts happening. We've got this zip that keeps everything tidy. So this zip is going to go around the forestay itself and around the other part of the jib halyard, which you're going to pull the sail up with, and then the zip is actually zipped around those parts. As you pull the jib up, we'll just be closing the zip as we go. So again, this does take a little bit longer if you're doing it on your own. If you're doing it with two people, you can have one person doing the halyard, the other person in charge of the zip. Okay, and then the jib is pretty much up. So the next thing we need to do is to attach the tack of the jib to the chain plate. Okay, so that is at the right spot. So what we're doing here is we're going to pin this as low down as we can on the stay adjuster there. On this one we're using a pin, but you might have a shackle. On other boats, like on the Tornado, the tack of a jib actually comes right down to a fitting on the bowsprit where you'd attach it there. And then on the Tiger we've got this, like with most of the racing boats, we've got this system for adjusting the jib tension as we're going along, and on these boats this line will be coming up from the bottom of the bridle wire, and this is going to go all the way up where we have a small pulley on the halyard that's going to go through that pulley So this has gone through the pulley and then back down, and on this one we're just tying it off on the front of the chain plate. On other boats which don't have this Jib Cunningham system, is you'd start off from the chain plate, something like this, or you can use a stopper knot up through the small pulley, and then you'll usually have some sort of cleat on the side of the sail here where the rope will go through, and then you can tie it off there. Good idea to put a stopper knot in there as well to make sure it can't come out. If you don't have the cleat there and you don't have the Jib Cunningham system, what you could do is bring the line back down and then tie the other end off down here as well, pulling it tight so you're getting rid of all of the creases in the front edge of the jib. Once that line is secured, we can take off the jib halyard that we used to hoist the sail. This is what we're going to call a lazy line, because once the jib's hoisted, that line is going to come off. Once we've taken the jib halyard off, very good idea is to put it somewhere safe, because we're going to need that for when we come to drop the jib. I'm going to put it in the pocket on the trampoline. So our adjustable Jib Cunningham system is pretty simple. You could put this on your boat fairly easily. We start off here, as we've seen, up to the block on the halyard here, then back down, and we're coming down and we're going through a ring here, and then the line is coming down alongside the bridle wire through another ring here, and then the line is coming back where it's tied onto a pulley, and that pulley, the rope, one end is being tied off on the dolphin striker, the other end onto a cleat on the front beam, and that means we can adjust the tension in the luff as we're going along. Okay, so then all that's left is we'll just close the rest of the zip. There we go, and that is ready to go, but we're going to put on one final finishing touch, because there's quite a lot here for the spinnaker to catch on. So what I'm going to do is just put on, this is a shroud cover, adjuster cover. I'm just going to put this on over all of this lot, letting this line run on the outside so it runs a bit nicer, and that is just going to cover up all of that lot, and I'll just put some tape on that as well to make sure it stays in place, but that's going to keep everything completely safe. So there we go, that is basically how the jib halyard system works on a boat like this. It's quite straightforward once you've done it once. There we are. Thanks very much to OS3 Sales for the brand new jib, and thanks for watching. I hope this has been informative and interesting, and something that will help you with your boat. Thank you.